Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you with us. How is everybody doing? We are on the penultimate race of this season, our second season of the Southern Ear Racing League here. I don't know about you, but I'm getting kind of excited. Things are heating up. We do have a few battles left. I know that Mr. Bear is in standing still in a solid fight for both Moto3 and Moto2. MotoGP also, I know that we've got a couple of guys really dominating in H League, but we still have those fights for those second and third positions, so it's looking good. Definitely looking forward to it. Unfortunately, right now, the stats you're seeing come through on the slideshow, we realized are incorrect at the moment. So, because they are from last week, we did not get a chance to update them. There were some miscommunications. We'll have that better next season. So that being said, for those who are curious about standings right now, thanks, Mr. Voss. We appreciate it. That being said, for our GP standings currently, in our first, second, and third spots, we have Mac, Medusa, which is Mr. Voss, who is talking right now. Soriana, thanks, bro. And Spanky. Here's the neat part to know, though. Voss and Spanky are sitting all of 2 points from each other, fighting over second. So, you're not done yet in MotoGP. The first place is pretty much decided. Mac with a very commanding 110-point lead over the two. But the fight between our second and third place being very close. Also between, well, Hines with his standings for most of the season, and Bear going to surpass him. It's like not, but he is close enough to Stormy that he could catch him. And Stormy is not able to be here this week. So, Voss having serious MotoGP withdrawals. I have heard that is a serious problem. MotoGP does have a lot of fans. For Moto2, Voss dominating there with 380 points this season. That being said, one of our newbies that joined partway through the season, Mr. Dickinson, managed to get himself within 12 points of Al Bear. So Moto2, man, that one ain't settled yet either, and Stormy isn't far behind him, but he will not be here this week, so I think that'll put him out of contention. But you still got a fight there between Dickinson and Bear for Moto2 for taking that second place spot. And finally, in Moto3, Voss incredibly dominant, but Bear and Jay, 10 points between them, and just another 10 points back, 9 points back, in fact, would be Mr. Dickinson as well. So we have a lot of people that are going to be fighting hard this week. And Moto3 in particular, I expect to be competitive for the next couple of weeks, because this season is by no means done. So we are just about ready to head over to start Sepang for this week. Here on the Xbox, this will be Moto3 qualifying. Hope everybody's having a good evening. Voss with his that being said. So waiting for everybody to get on the track. Hope everybody has had a good week. It's always a good way to start off the week. I almost feel like we should always keep these races on Mondays, just so you guys can start off your Monday with some racing. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? As always, feel free to drop in on the chat. Whether you're watching us on Twitch, you're watching us on Facebook, you're watching us on YouTube, wherever you're watching us, feel free to say hi. And this evening especially, because I'm lonely tonight, I don't have Nick here. He will be out for all of this evening as far as I know, as apparently this hailstorm that we had around here has him a little busy fixing people's cars. So, 15 minutes for qualifying for our boys here in Moto3. Hopefully Mr. Voss can get over his withdrawals and get some shit done in this race. Obviously, you can see our lineup this evening. We have Mr. Key here as usual. Jay out there as always. He's got his competition with Mr. Bear that he's going to have a bit of a fight over this week. I'm looking forward to seeing these two fighting this evening. And Veritech there being one of our new guys. I believe he showed up partway through the week wanting to start racing with us, so he is filling in a slot. One of our fellas that is out this evening. Hazard back. Good to see him again. Hadlock as well. Jane. Funny thing about Jane, I've seen him on chat a few times mourning how fast some of these guys are, but this guy joined partway through the season and now finds himself in the top 10 in basically all three of our leagues, so I ain't doing too bad at all. I believe it was number 7 or something like that is his worst. He's doing really well. And Voss, of course, having a great season in all the leagues he's in. And then there is Mr. Baird. Always good to see him here. And we'll see what he can do this evening. He's one of those ones that he's always able to hold the good lap times, but he just has a little trouble with consistency. So I'm hoping the more time he spends with us, the better he'll get at that. And I see a few folks starting to join us here. As always, folks, feel free to say hi on chat. Insult me, tell me I suck. Cheer on your favorite racers. Do us a favor, don't give them Bigfoot's curse. When he cheers for somebody, there's no way they're going to win. Don't be that guy. You're going to cheer somebody, send them those positive thoughts. Let them win races. Sepang being one of the more interesting circuits in GP, and that its back straight and its front straight are literally tied by a tight hairpin. It's really a different track from some of the others. As we are waiting for our guys to start putting down some times here. Okay, a couple of the streams that I didn't have earlier are now showing up. Looks like Nick J going to put down our first time. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate it. Yep, Jay putting down our first time at 2:16.180. And it looks like the only person on pace to beat that. Ooh, Hazard coming very close. Virtually the same time, only 0.02. A second behind him. Better hurry, Mr. J, if you want to stay up there at the front of the group. Key, Veritech, and Bear looking like they're probably going to be back behind him, but Jane on a very solid lap so far. I'm not sure when my name got changed to Bob, but I'll take it. Why not? I'm sure there's something that's a reference to it. I don't know. There's like Waterboy or something. I don't even remember. Veritech, his first lap out with us, putting himself 4.7 seconds behind Jay. That is one thing I have to say. It has been a while since I've seen Mr. J put up a top of the board, even in qualifying in our initials. So good to see him out there and getting to it. I suspect we're going to see a better week than we've seen from him in a while. Dickinson commenting here, trivia fact, T2 at Sepang is built on a sacred orangutan grave site. Some say it's cursed. Is this where we get to guess if it's true or not? Because I'm calling BS on that one. Either that or it sounds like you're announcing the Stig. Some say. Ooh, and Jane knocking Nick J down to 2.8 seconds behind him. So Jay needing to go ahead and put on some more solid laps if he's wanting to get that front row guaranteed. Baird yet to get out on the track. Hopefully he will soon. And Bear looking solid, 3.1 seconds back. So we got ourselves a pack there. You can see Jay, Hazard, and Bear very close in times. I guess Bear deciding he doesn't hate me since I'm alone this evening. Not putting himself next to Bear. Of course, I say that. He'll punish me soon enough. 9 minutes remaining in qualifying. And hopefully these boys can put themselves down some solid times. Just ask Marquez. He offered his orange Repsol as tribute in the 2019 qualifying. Well, Marquez sacrifices many, many motorcycles as tribute. And apparently he's decided that sacrificing arms is also okay. We'll see if he can deliver on all the promises his fanboys have assured me will happen this year. He will come back and be as dominant as ever. At least that's what I hear. So Hadlock here on a solid lap. A couple other boys in the pits. Looks like Hazard having his current lap invalidated. Meanwhile, Key having a pretty solid lap as well. Hopefully his time moved down a bit there for him. Unable, unfortunately, move his time down at all. Guess the final section not terribly strong for him. Hadlock, meanwhile, he's having a solid lap there. And Voss finally out on the track. Let's see what kind of time he can put down for himself. We'll go ahead and jump on board with him. Let's see what he's got here. Was this the first time, this weekend, the first time he didn't crash all weekend? I do not know. I would not be surprised if that were the case, for the simple fact that I got news for you. It doesn't matter how suicidal he was before. A wreck like that keeps you off the circuit for, damn near a year. Boy, that's going to make anybody gun shy. Like, it absolutely is going to. You're not going to go bonsai the way he did previously. And there were no wrecks, no real drama to it. You got to also wonder, too, how much other teams are going to be looking to play the psychological edge against Marquez because they know he's going to have something in the back of his head telling him, don't push too hard. Meanwhile, Jane looking like he's going to move that time up front down just a bit further. Hey, Bigfoot saying, what's up, ladies? Not much, girl. How you doing? Every racer this evening praying Bigfoot does not pick them so that they don't wind up suffering the Bigfoot curse. Jane, meanwhile, knocking almost a second off of his time there. Doing a good job moving things down for the rest of the pack. And you can see here our two that are really in contention. Bear and Jay, very close to each other. Yes, our cursed viewer is here. We always love to see him, but the racers hate when he picks them. So Voss's first full lap here. Let's see if he can get up to the front of the pack there. Coming into that final hairpin. Oh, and Bear having an off. That's unfortunate. Just under 5 minutes remaining in qualifying. Oof. Voss unable to catch Jane by half a second. gave a couple racers some pointers last Friday night, gave them a couple lessons. So, you told them how to avoid getting picked by you? Is that what it was? Just hang back more in qualifying, keeps them safe. Mr. Dickinson calling for Bigfoot to pick Voss in every race. You know what? I gotta approve of your strategy there, Craig. That's not too bad, sir. That is not a bad idea at all. Yeah. Bigfoot, could you pick Voss every race, please? We'd like to give everybody a little bit of a chance the last couple of races. There we go! All right, so this week, he's a Voss fan. Voss, I'm sorry. We've decided you're done. We're going to Marquez you out of this season. So we are sitting just under 3 minutes remaining in qualifying. So far, Jane, Voss, and Bear up front, but Bear and Jay, the big fight to watch. Because currently there are 10 points between them. And so that is going to be definitely the one to watch there. We'll see how that changes standings, depending on the distance between them. So that is definitely what's going to be interesting to see. Is that it? You were they were kind enough to let you race with them, but you had to pick Voss on every race. That is a fair way to negotiate. You know what? These guys are good racers and shrewd negotiators. They drive a hard bargain. So we are waiting just under 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. Hopefully some of these boys can put down some solid laps. Baird having an off. Not having put down a lap yet. Bear and Jay, again, for Moto3, looking like the big fight this evening. So as close as those two are, let's see how that winds up working out. I'm excited to watch that. Hazard on deciding to drop him a chat. Glad to have you here tonight. I am glad to be here. Tired Fuel Strategy is going to have a big impact tonight. I'm going to watch Medusa's stream and copy his strategy. Nothing wrong with that. I'd like to thank all my fans for cheering for me tonight. Bigfoot, don't cheer for him. All right? Hazard, don't ask Bigfoot to cheer for you. You don't want that. Since you've been a Bigfoot now saying, since I've been a Voss fan from day one, I pick him to win all 3 races tonight. Voss for victory. Voss, you're screwed, sir. It's over. We might just have him cheer for you the entire next season as well. Just to make it more. I know, right? You don't want the Bigfoot curse. So, time expiring now on qualifying. That'll be it for folks. It looks like Jay, unfortunately, won't manage to move his time down at all. He is. Yep. And Bear dumping it as well. Coming out of the turn there. I had never seen anybody wheelie a Moto3 bike. That is rather impressive. So, currently out on the track, Jay invalidated his lap, so that'll be that for him. So, Key, Veritek, Baird has done a bit of a wheelie and looped it. And Bear and Voss also still out on the track, but neither of them seeming to move their times down. What in the... Bigfoot, I can't even tell what that... What is that? I have no idea what that is. Just waiting for our last guys to finish up here. And we will be ready for our first race of the evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody has been enjoying catching the new previews of GP21. I know Dickinson on here chatting has done his evaluation of it as far as he could tell from looking at things. A pushed over porta. Really? Why would that be an icon? Why does that even exist as a thing? Oh, and it looks like Bear invalidates his lap as well. So pretty much Veritech being our last one out on the track. As we wait for him to finish up here. He's looking good. He might move up a standing there, and yes, he does. Good job, sir. So your front row gonna be Jane having one hell of a qualifying. Voss and Bear. In second row, Jay, Hazard, and Hadlock. Third row, Veritech, Key, and Baird. Baird, unfortunately, unable to put down a lap this time. So he'll just have to roll the race at the back. No big deal. You can work with that big dog. Let's do it. So we'll be on to our 2 minutes, waiting for fellas to do their final adjustments and get ready to start the race. And while we've got that time, I'm sure our guys that like to come in here and chat will have their talk. But looks like we lost one of our cameras there for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. We'll see if we can get that back. Kind of hope so. That's my data stream. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and mention our sponsors because they have the prizes. We are ready to give our boys some prizes. Yes, Bigfoot cheering for us. We're ready to give our boys some prizes. We actually have a big party coming up for them at the end of the season. It's going to be a lot of fun for the guys that can be here, for those who can't, or for anybody that wants to see it. We will have a stream running for it. I believe it is late in May, like May 30th or something like that. I'll try and mention the correct date at some point on the stream. That being said, Woods Cycle Country, bringing new used motorcycles and a bit of gear as well. Moto Orangutan, they're more of a gear shop, also dealing with used motorcycles and bicycles, of all things. They have a lot of great selection and all of that. I've worked with them a bunch, gotten some great gear from them. They're cool. Motul, the dudes that make Motor Oil, bringing us the swag that they were going to give to the GP guys this year. Instead, they gave it to our racers. Or last year, rather. Pardon me. Mass Motorsports. Oop, we got some weirdness going on with controllers there. Mass Motorsports with Pirelli tires that they actually gave us for some of our boys. That is an awesome thing to give them. Or, excuse me, no, Mass Motorsport. I'm sorry, my brain got flipped for a moment. Mass Motorsports are giving us gloves for our boys. South Central Race Center bringing us Pirelli tires for the boys. And John Hutchison has occasionally raced in the league, has been an awesome guy to race with, has been a great guy sponsoring us. So it's been cool to have him here. So that is what we have in the way of sponsors. And we're hoping to do even more with that next season. With it being near the end of the season, if you happen to be watching and you're interested in sponsoring, by God, let us know. That being said, it is time for our first race of the evening. Bigfoot Sing, brought to you by Bigfoot for Voss Foundation. Man, he's laying that curse on thick as we are ready to go. will be our first race at Sepang on the Xbox. Jay getting a great early start. Looking absolutely phenomenal there. You can see up front there. Oh, Jay swinging wide through turn one. Not quite able to stick it. Voss slipping past him. And Jane slipping through as well, so Jay finding himself back in third. I didn't quite see who went off track there. And Jane slipping past Voss, showing the kind of power he had during qualifying. I guess that Bigfoot curse is kicking in. Voss is going to be in for a bit of a fight this evening. Though I'm sure he doesn't mind that. I have noticed that man can appreciate having to fight for it. Jay swinging wide again, and Voss just slipping right under him. Jay probably trying to get him on the brakes, just going a little too late. And just losing the dominance that momentary pass gets him. Hopefully he can get that under control. And hopefully that Bigfoot curse will hang on. Meanwhile, Bear just behind Jay. So the fight for Moto3 between these two is by no means over. Ooh, look at this. And Baird going ahead and getting in there as well to go ahead and make my life miserable. So I have to make the commentary between him and Bear. It'll at least make it an interesting fight this evening, though. These three looking very solid. All of them. Oh, little close there. Woo! Momentary trade of paint. Jay and Bear having very solid. Oh, little bit of a bump there to Baird. Everybody's staying up, though. We'll see if everybody can hang on to it. The fight between these three actually really good this evening. Remember, folks, rubbing is in fact racing. Meanwhile, up front, Jane starting to run away from Voss, putting himself that second ahead that he was during qualifying. And Bear and Jay starting to crawl ahead of Baird. Our other camera here, you can see Hazard trying to chase down Baird. I know he was excited about being back into the race this week. Hell, even if you haven't got a chance to win anything for the season, you might as well be in there to win. And Veritek sitting close to Hazard as well. Hazard already having had to play with these boys, having learned it's not an easy league to race in. Oh no, Jay having it off. Oh man, that puts him back to 7th. He's still got 4 laps to work with though, so hopefully he can catch back up. I don't want to see him end the season that far back. Get back on there and get it going, bro. So Hazard doing a great job of hanging on to Baird's tail. And look at this pass. Is it going to happen? Yes, manages to slip up under Baird. Excellent work by Hazard there. That was a clean pass with just better lines. Very, very well done going through 14. Now swinging around into 15. Yeah, that was solid right there. You can't complain about racing that good. So Hazard with an excellent pass and slowly starting to move ahead of Baird. You can tell he's excited to be back from that one. Bear, meanwhile, finding himself 6.5 seconds back off of Voss. So Voss finding himself pretty comfortably in second, but Jane just having a great evening. And last couple times in Moto3, Jane has been really good. This is a guy that joined us later in the season, and in every class he's been in has been pretty dang good. But after hearing him lament how fast some of the other guys were, in Moto3 he's just been solid over and over and over. Yeah, that guy definitely doesn't have anything to be ashamed of in this class at all. So Baird now not letting go of Hazard, doing his best to try and catch up to him. But we'll see if he can make that happen. Meanwhile, looking at Bear here with Hazard trying to chase him down. A little bit rough around that turn. Wow, look at that! Hazard around the outside, well done. Actually not a bad pass at all. That was 12? Oh, it was 11. Keep in mind, folks, I got to remember these tracks. I am garbage at this. So we are coming down the straight, headed into 15. We'll put them on the front street. Halfway through the race, Jay still in 7th. I'm hoping he can catch up to the rest of the field, and that puts Veritek, his first race with us, in 6th. Not looking too shabby there. Oh, look at this fight between Hazard and Bear. Here we come. Oh, into the first turn. Into second turn, and oh my god, these two so close on very close paces tonight. Hazard looking very good. Meanwhile, Key and Hadlock having a bit of a fight here at the back. Look at Key looking for that inside line, doing his level best to chase down Hadlock. Got a couple of good fights going this evening. Got this fight here at the back, which these guys are not letting off of it, and I know Key was making comments in Discord about, and even if he is at the back of the pack, he loves some of the fights he gets back there, and by God, this is the kind of thing he's talking about. That's the thing about these guys. All these dudes, in the end, all they're looking for is a good, solid fight on the track, and you know what? I can't blame them. That's where all the fun is. So Bear slowly climbing ahead of Hazard, doing really well. Unable to catch Voss, but that's nothing to be ashamed of because look at how stupidly fast Jane is going. This is, dear God. Voss definitely, it hasn't caused a wreck yet, but the Bigfoot curse putting Voss back. Oh, no! And Key, after getting around Hadlock there, just tosses it on the bump strips, just loses it, and that is going to put him 6 seconds back. I know he was enjoying that, and that is a shame to find himself that far back. Looking now at Bear, with Hazard trying to chase him down. We are on the penultimate lap at this point. And this little pack here between Bear, Hazard, and Baird has remained close the entire time. These guys all really wanting a good place this evening. Definitely giving a good show for it. Meanwhile, Veritek back there, you can see him just coming into frame. just over or just under 5 seconds back. Tell you what, if you can hang that close to these guys on your first race with us, you're not too bad. This group has gotten fast throughout the season. They're now 15 seconds back off of Voss, who is 4 seconds back off of Jane. Jane, you don't get to complain anymore about how fast everybody is. You're doing phenomenal in Moto3. Hazard doing his best to chase down Bear yet again, getting very, very close. Bear with no time to rest, but if he can take himself a podium, with Jay still stuck back there in 7th, and Jay has worked his way up to being just half a second behind Veritek, so that puts him within 5 seconds of the pack out ahead of him. Oh, no, Baird has fallen back. He's looking at bad tires at this point. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he has fallen back off of Bear and Hazard, so it is pretty much the fight for the podium is between Bear and Hazard. Key, unfortunately, having another off. That is too bad. I know he was really looking forward to having some good fights this evening, so finding himself back there, that is rough. Jay, meanwhile, has managed to slip past Veritek, putting himself into 6th. And he's going to help against Bear. Bear now finding himself in 4th. Trying to chase down Hazard. He's going to have it all to do there. You can see there Bear with good management of tires and fuel. So he's got everything he needs to go hard, and he has pushed into the higher power. I suspect Hazard has done the same as well, so it's going to be a bit of a fight as we are now on the final lap. Out front, Jane still continuing to dominate. Can't push out more than 4 seconds over Voss. I would suspect they both switched to their higher power map at this point. But Voss can't catch him either. I'll tell you what, Jane is a racer who has been developing quite well this evening, this season. We have seen him doing phenomenally well in Moto3. He's coming along well in the other classes, but Moto3 has just been where he has been excellent. Oh, man, and Bear loses the rear in 9. Oh, that's disappointing. He probably will not have time to make that happen. Now it's, oh, and look at that Bear slipping up under him. And that puts Jay only 1 place behind him. Man, that changed suddenly. Jay now 2.5 seconds back off of Bear. Bear just in front of Bear. Because they hate me and they like to make it hard for me to commentate. Baird, though, having a very solid evening here in Moto3. And it looks like he might get that far, unless Bear can... Oh, it was rough trying to take the line there. But it looks like Jay pushed himself up into 6th, and Bear had that mistake, losing the rear. Man, oh man, what a last-minute change. So there you go. You're going to have Jane up front, having earned it. That was a phenomenal race for him. Good work. Voss in 2nd. Bear at the last second slipping and losing the tail, putting Hazard into 3rd. Hazard coming back, and just, that was a good race for him. That was an excellent race for him. But due to penalties, even though Baird managed to cross the line first, that's going to put Bear in 4th. Once penalties are calculated in, Baird in 5th, Jay in 6th, Veritek in 7th, and Hadlock in 8th, Key in 9th. And hang on a second, camera people, because I need to put all these in. I realize nobody else is going to be doing that this evening without... without... Oh, I got it. I've got it. I'm working through them right now. So, yes, what a hell of a race. Boy, that was good. That was right down to the wire. I love seeing stuff like that. I'm sure everybody in the audience loves seeing it too. Second place is the first loser. Yes, are you trying to discourage him so like the rest of the evening he won't be near as good? Is this the plan? Oh no. I'm inputting things incorrectly because I suck at typing right now, apparently. So, what a first race of the evening. Man, I can only hope the next two races are going to be that good. I am going to just keep inputting things incorrectly. You know what? Go ahead and get that if you could, Heinz. I did not get all that correctly. We'll have to do that later. Anyway, so thanks to my mistakes, standings will not be calculated immediately. We will have to fix that. That was a very solid race. Yeah, Hazard, you had yourself a good fight in there, man. Hope you enjoyed it. That was a good place to be. Where is my partner? Nick is currently out for the evening because of the fact that we had some massive, we're talking like golf to almost baseball-sized hail hit in town, and Nick does insurance on cars. He's works at one of the repair places. Why am I forgetting the name of it? Anyway, yeah, that's what he does. So he is out this evening with the extreme demand that has. For some reason, this league doesn't make us enough money to not work day jobs. Go figure. So anyway, we will be back shortly with the qualifying for Moto 2 at Sepang on the Xbox. I'm glad to have everybody here. I am glad our racers are having a good evening. As a matter of fact, I see Hazard there commenting. I think he enjoyed that fight. That was solid. I am looking forward to more races this evening. But that being said, we're going to take a brief break. We will be back in 5 minutes, and we will see you then. And we are just about ready to start qualifying for our second race of the evening. Hazard calling for a curse on McCargo this time. Bigfoot, are you going to help him out with that? We'll see. I'm surprised I haven't seen Nick pop in and say, well, something on chat. I guess he's just that busy at work. So you get to put up with me this evening, by myself, like nails on a chalkboard. Boy, that first race was good, though. I hope everybody enjoyed that as much as I did. That was a lot of fun to watch. And we are just popping over to the track now for qualifying for Moto 2 at Sepang. This will be fun. I've actually been really looking forward to these last couple of rounds. Gonna start having those fights that immediate consequences. And boys might fight even harder for that. So waiting for folks to get out on the track there. It looks like Hazard and Key. First one's out there. Clearly those boys looking forward to getting into it. Coco showing up for this race. Good to see him there. And Mac. Good to see him out as always. Veritek joining us for another round because apparently he decided he kind of liked getting eaten up by these boys. So glad to see him out there doing it. Hadlock as well. Baird, Hazard, Voss. Oh, bit of an off there. Jane. Good to see him all out there. And apparently this round, the Bigfoot and is supposed to cheer for Voss and Mac. The curse wasn't very effective last round. You're losing your touch, sir. Oh my God, this is horrible. Yeah, it's awful. It's terrible. Absolute trash. Looking at everybody getting their warm-ups done. Of course, we tend to run the 15-minute qualifying, so folks have a bit of time to get things dialed in, get themselves happy with the track. Hadlock having an off, unfortunately. Putting himself back into the pits, Baird as well. So Jane, Voss, and Bear out front. We can probably put down our first laps here. We'll see if they can do it. Coco as well, hustling on around. Awesome Jane out front, though, starting to look like a flashback to Moto 3 at this point. Ooh, and Voss with a 2:04.171. And Jane just 0.167 seconds behind him. This is why I say Jane doesn't get to complain about how fast the other guys are. Consistently solid racer for us. So currently, Hazard and Key out on the track. Waiting for both of them to put down laps. Jane, or rather Voss, through the first section, though. Looking a bit faster than Jane. We'll see if he can put himself down. A solid qualifying lap. Keep in mind, folks, a lot of the guys that are playing here also happen to actually ride bikes in real life. A lot of them actually do track days, and in some cases racing. As a matter of fact, apparently that's a story with Rocha, who won't be showing up till maybe GP this evening. And just like here in real life, he winds up dumping the bike all the time. He just throws it away constantly, bins it, garage sales it. Hazard looking like he's having a solid lap so far. Hopefully he can get it done. And Bear, solid first section. Second, not so much. I know that lately he has seemed to focus his effort more on Moto2 than either of the other classes. So this is generally where we see the best performance from him. He managed to come out ahead of Jay during the last race, which will maintain his lead for second in Moto3, but barely. Pun totally unintended. Please do not send me death threats or anything like that for me. I'm just kidding. Send the death threats. I'll be fine with them. Meanwhile, Max showing very solid performance through first and second sections, though through the third, a little bit slower. So apparently Bigfoot has decided not to cheer for Mac this round. Ooh! And Mr. Bear showing that extra practice he's been putting in. Putting down a 203.998, putting himself right in there with Jane and Voss. That is not bad. And Mac putting himself 0.73 seconds back. Okay. Looks like we're going to have ourselves a race this evening in Moto2. Imagine that. These boys have decided to bring the A game tonight. I can appreciate that, being so close to the end of the season. You will never hear me complain about that at all. Jane on a tear, though, looking to put himself up at the front again. Ditto for Voss. All three of these guys looking solid, showing group bests for at least one section. Moto2 looking like it's going to be a very competitive evening. Hadlock putting himself down 7 seconds behind. Key 6.5 seconds back. So we'll look for those two to be fighting each other during the race unless they manage to push up even further. Hazard putting himself 2.5 seconds back, and Mac, maybe Bigfoot is cheering for him. He's now almost 2 seconds back off the lead. Voss moving up to a 2.02.864. Forcing Jane and Bear to push even harder. Bear, though, putting himself back up into second at 0.361. Looks like these boys are just going to steadily get faster. All right. I got no complaints about that. Baird and Veritek yet to put down times, but I think Veritek just about to put one down. when I think Veritek invalidating his time. So we're looking at Hadlock here. See if he can move his time down at all. Oh, and an off by Key. That's rough. Hadlock finding himself 8.195 seconds back off of the lead. He's going to need to fight to get a little further up than that. We'll see if he can do it. So Mac showing 3 straight sections orange, so he's going to get a personal best on this lap most likely, but whether he can move up closer to Voss, we'll see. I don't know, maybe Bigfoot's cheering for him. Maybe that curse is going to hit. Oof! Puts himself within 1 second of the front, but that's not enough to get up past Jane and Bear. Bigfoot silent for right now. I suspect he has been cheering for Mac. Jane having an off, unfortunately. Probably just going into the pits, maybe. Coco looking like he's having a solid lap. Ditto for Stock Hazard, but Hazard invalidating his lap. Ditto for Key on his current lap. Just over 4 minutes remaining in qualifying. And Voss, man, 2 sections very solid. Doesn't look like he moved his time down at all to 202.624. Current best lap to beat. Bear 0.6 seconds back off of that. Jane 1.041 and Mac 1.307. Second pack Hazard and Coco looking like they're going to have a bit of a fight this evening. Third pack Key and Hadlock. I would suspect Key has been focusing some attention on Moto 2. So I would bet Hadlock is going to find himself in a bit of a fight with Mr. Key this evening. And I can appreciate a man that just loves having a good fight. As I mentioned during the previous race, there is nothing wrong with looking for that. Baird and Veritek just about to put down laps with just under 3 minutes remaining in qualifying. As always, folks, feel free to pop in and throw comments at me. Tell me I suck. Tell me I rock. Tell the racers they suck or rock. Tell them who you're cheering for. Ooh, Veritek moving himself up to 7th. This is his first evening with us, so seeing him put himself in the middle of the pack, it's not too bad. Keep in mind that we have some of these guys have been on the ranking boards for Milestone, the guys who make the game. Very often we'll have several of the guys that are in this league sitting in the top 10 on the worldwide boards for the official game boards. So if you come in here, you're going to have some solid competition. But pretty much every one of them that I've talked to, man, they got a great attitude about it. We will drag in more racers that are fast. They want more competition. So if you're watching and you want to join, feel free. We have a Discord. We have our Facebook channel. We have plenty of places. Just, message us on stream. Whatever. We will take care of it. Mark needs to curse. Bigfoot, we were thinking the call from Hazard was for it to hit Mac, and I can see why now. Hazard is just behind Mac at this point. They're just wanting the curse on Mac in this one. Voss sitting up at the front of the group, so I think they wouldn't complain about that either. So it looks like we've got 3 distinct packs broken up here. You can see the front there. Voss, Bear, Jane, and Mac. Our second pack, obviously very close together. Hazard, Coco, and Baird. And finally, Key, Veritek, and Hadlock struggling a little bit more than normal here. Hopefully he'll get it together. Bigfoot, I gotta appreciate how fast you can just on a dime, just switch them fan hoods on a dime. I have to raise a glass to that. I have to appreciate that. That is a skill. Voss and Mac 1-2. All right. Bigfoot trying to bring down 2 racers at the same time. I'm actually impressed by that. We'll see if he can do it. Coco with a very solid 5th at 2.646 seconds behind Voss. That is actually, I think, probably the best I've seen him qualify in Moto2 yet. Very, very good qualifying for him. 0 seconds left on the clock. So, folks, the invalidator finish now. That is it for qualifying. Ooh, Veritek way off the track on the inside. That's gonna invalidate his lap, unfortunately. And he was on the way to a personal best. So that's gonna cost him. Your Mac t-shirt under your Voss sweatshirt. All right, fair enough. That actually wouldn't be terribly uncomfortable today here in Austin. It is high 60s. It wouldn't be terrible for a sweatshirt. I'm rolling with the windows open here in the apartment to keep the temperature down. So, qualifying there, we have Voss, Mac, and Bear on the front row. Jane, Coco, and Hazard on your second row. Baird, Key, and Veritek on the third row. And let's see, who was that bringing up the rear there? Because I have forgotten and I'm terrible and you should hate me as an announcer. Hadlock finds himself at the back. Which, again, a surprise to me because he's normally a lot more solid. Bit of a surprise to me. So, we are just about to start our second race of the evening. We will have 2 minutes as we wait for the boys to do their final configuration here. Definitely looking forward to what we have this evening, though. That first race was so good. It was a lot of fun to watch, so I am looking forward to see how this one turns out. Meanwhile, while we wait on that to get started, we wait on the guys to do their final dial-in. We wait on Bigfoot to figure out what he's going to do for his fan wear. I'm going to go ahead and have a brief mention of our excellent sponsors for this season. Oh, wow. That decided to kill the stream on me again. We have Motul, the motor oil guys, donating swag for our boys. Mass Motorsports. By God, if you want yourself a custom suit, custom gloves, I don't know if they do boots, but I know they do the suits and gloves. They are the guys to go to. They make some very nice, awesome custom stuff. South Central Race Center here in Austin, providing Pirelli tires. Some good rubber if you want to stick to the road, whether it's around the track or on your average street. By God, it's not too bad. Woods Cycle Country selling new, used... Yeah, new and used. Yeah, motorcycles. Yeah. and also a little bit of gear. And Moto Orangutan, lots and lots of gear. Some used motorcycles and awesome bicycle setups as well. They'll take care of you. Part of the reason we call this Southern E-Racing League, for those that don't know, it's here in Austin, Texas. And 4 out of 5 of our sponsors are local. Or local-ish, at the very least. So if you happen to be in the area, swing by, say hi to them. Tell them we sent you. They might appreciate it. So now we are just waiting on everybody to finish up configs. We're about ready to get started here. I'm looking forward to this. That first race this evening was so good. I am expecting good things out of this one as well. There is a chance these boys will not disappoint me at all. And here we go. This will be our second race of the evening. It's going to be Moto 2 at Sepang on the Xbox. Hope y'all are ready for this. Hope we get another good, solid fight this round. And we are off. Voss with a very solid start. Mac not far behind him. Hazard having a great start as well. And Bear, look at Bear slipping his way up into third. Mac very wide around turn 1. That's going to slow him down. Mac, meanwhile, manages to catch back up into Bear, sitting very close to him. So Bear looking like he's going to hang on very solidly to these two. Maybe he can make it happen this evening. It would be interesting to see what he can pull off. Sepang, such a really mixed track. It's like you've got these straights, you've got these really tight twisted turns. There's not much height variation, but it is just really, really rough on the turns. See Mac here trying to catch Voss. For some reason, Bigfoot's curse not working very well. I think I'm going to have a talk with Bigfoot after this. He ain't doing his job worth a damn. So Bear sitting a second and a half back off this fight between these two, and Jane just under half a second behind Bear. They are not going to make it easy this evening. See here Jane's view as he's swinging, trying to swing around Bear, but Bear just having a better line. Looking like Jane had the better drive out though, and very, very solid pass by Jane. 2:14, that was well done. As we head into the hairpin to hit the front straight. Again, Sepang unique in the fact that its back straight and front straight aren't literally right next to each other, joined by a hairpin. So Max sitting just half a second back off of Voss. About 2.5 seconds back, you've got Jane and Bear. See the fight up front here. Mac tried to chase down Voss, but Voss not going to make it easy. I was having some fun discussions with Mac earlier this week, too, on Discord. This guy, the amount of time he's spent in the dirt is kind of scary. He was showing me some of the stuff he had done for hill climbs previously. Whew. I'll tell you right now, as scary as the street can be, hill climbs are the thing in dirt that actually scares the living hell out of me. And this guy was running dumb, powerful bikes up hills. So Bear sitting really close to chasing down Jane. jumping back onto that fight. And man, it's looking like if it's anywhere near the podium this evening, we're going to see dudes really... Oh, no! Veritek throwing it out of the turn there as he was getting close. That's going to put him back into ninth. He's going to have it all to do to catch up to these guys. Look at Baird trying to chase down Jade. And Baird next to him, because these two hate us. I just want to let y'all know, they hate the commentators. They like to make it hard for us to distinguish between them. Bear looking very solid, trying to chase down Jane. And meanwhile, Voss not letting go of Matt. Wait, what happened there? Did Voss actually... Was that an off? How did I miss that? So Voss finding himself now back in third, just ahead of Bear. Wow, that is an unusual thing to see happen. Looking at it now from Bear's perspective, just out ahead of him will be Voss and Jane. Voss trying to catch up from his mistakes. Oh, this will put us back just a bit of a turn. You can see Voss, great pass in 7. Up under Jane there. And Mac finding himself now back in 5th. Holy wow! I think Bigfoot actually finally put on the shirts. My God, the churn up front this evening, the likes of which we have not seen in a very long time in Moto 2. I can't even begin to predict who's going to wind up taking the front of this one. So Voss up front currently. Looking very solid as always, but having himself a mistake there. Jane and Bear trying to chase him down. Mac doing his best to chase down Baird. And Bigfoot cheering, come on, Mac. Let's do. You can see here from Bear's view, trying to chase down Jane and Voss. And Bear very solid in our standings for Moto 2, so if he can manage to make this happen, he's currently sitting in 2nd. And we don't have Dickinson Racing here this week, so this will give him a further lead and solidify his 3rd. So this is absolutely a win he would like to get, or at the very least podium on. Meanwhile, you can see here taking a look at Mac's view, trying to chase down Baird. Baird looking very solid this evening. He was doing well in Moto 3 until he had himself a bit of an off, but here we are, 4 laps in, and he's in 4th. That is a good night for him. Ooh, very far inside, though. Mac trying to chase him down. And that is a scary man to have on your tail. Mac with a very, very nice inside pass. Very, very well done through 14. That was solid. Now into the hairpin. From the back straight onto the front straight. And Matt keeping it just a bit tighter. as we start the penultimate lap. Baird still trying to chase down Mac. Looking at it currently from Mac's perspective, just behind Baird. But Baird having a great evening chasing him down. I suspect Baird has been practicing at Moto2 as well, because he's looking very solid. Voss, meanwhile, having taken first, but not really getting that far ahead of Jane. Yeah. Bigfoot with the Gotti. You got Mac. Did you get Voss? Come on. I mean, like, Voss is still out front, bro. You're not cheering hard enough here. Best to try and catch Bear here. You're seeing that tail slide out the... Ooh, can he slip under him in 11? Doesn't look like it. Bear looking very, very solid here. Coming into 12. Look at Max slipping up under him. Trying to take the outside line. Has to back off of it because of Voss swinging a bit wide into 14. Tries to slip up under him. I know, right? Clearly looks like that bike is just going to leave the track. It's just going to yeet. Yeah, Voss seems to be immune to curses. Ooh, Voss setting a lap record again on 2:03 there. Oh, look at this down this straight. Bear and Mac very late on the brakes. Can he make it happen? It looks like he's going to get it to stick through turn 1. Looking at it from Bear's perspective, just does not have the drive out from 2. That is the key to that whole section. If your drive out from 2 is not on the money, man, you're going to get left. Looking for it. Maybe he can make it happen. It's going to be really hard. This is the final lap, but he's not off the podium yet. It's worth not giving up, though. Oof. What a fight, though. Trying his best, but Max slowly creeping ahead. Is that how he does it? Does everybody else need to have ice in their veins? Is that how you solve the Bigfoot curse? Y'all want to watch out for that. On board with Hazard here, you can see him fighting with Coco. Coco doing a good job of chasing Hazard down. He unfortunately finding himself 20 seconds back off of this fight. Ditto for Veritech Headlock. Just having a rough evening in Moto2. Yeah, maybe it is. He's running lower speeds. Can't totally blame him on this track. There's a lot of really, really tricky twists. So I can see gearing a bit lower. Like Voss, Jane, and Mac up front. Bear manages to take 4th, which for his standing currently will probably work out fine. Baird, as always, making my life hell, putting himself right behind Bear. Hazard, just, it looked like he was going to be doing better than that, and then finds himself back in 6th. Figured he'd get a bit higher than that. Kind of disappointing. But a good race from him nonetheless. Coco having a solid evening as well. And I need to remember how to push keys correctly in order to input all this. See, folks, I'm normally not the one doing this. Key putting himself in 9th. Veritek putting himself in 10th. In which, you know what? Veritek in 9th, excuse me. And Hadlock back in 10th, excuse me. Bit of a rough evening for Hadlock. I am surprised to see him that far back. Normally he's a little bit better than that. Anyway, that'll be it for our second run of this evening. We will pop over to standby there. If I can, oh God, I'm having to deal with too much by myself. We need it to not be a curse, perhaps. That is entirely possible. That is entirely possible. Pick a rider completely at random that is Voss, not the curse, but 100% curse Voss. So if you wanted to curse a rider, who would it be and why Voss? Is that how we need to phrase this? Bigfoot, I love you, bro. You're always here drinking with me as I commentate these streams. So, we are getting ready for our final race of the evening. It will be GP at Sepang on the Xbox. Give us, let's say, right about 10 minutes. And we'll be ready to be back and getting into trouble with you guys. Hope you've been enjoying the races this evening. We actually had a couple pretty good ones. I've actually enjoyed it. It has been solid racing this evening. I've been having some fun watching it. And it seems from the viewer numbers this evening, we've got a lot of people enjoying it as well. So I'm glad to see that. Welcome, those who have not watched us before. Welcome back, those who have. Yes, Bigfoot and I, always drinking and watching people go fast. Cheers to you, my friend. By the way, Bigfoot, what are you drinking this evening? I am having a local Belgian. I've forgotten the name of the brewery. They're Triple B. I'd see, Hazard. I thought you were having fun. You've been out a little bit, so it seemed like you've been having a blast. You've been having some good fights, bro. Good racing. I can appreciate it. And I will mention this to viewers. If you're wanting to get into my good graces, suggest good Belgian beers. That is what I like to have. Okay, all right. The Bad Boy Brew Triple B is the Belgian I'm having this evening. One made locally here in Austin, I believe. It is a Texas beer. I think it was Austin as well. Yep, it is here in Austin. Solid stuff. That being said, we are going to take a brief break. We will be back in about 7 minutes with the final race of the evening. That will be GP at Sepang on the Xbox. Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. Still have a little left in the bottle. Good choice, sir. Good choice. Yes! You're having a good time, bro. That works. Hazard enjoying it. Gallons of fun. These folks are fast. Lucky to have it. Do men drink Woodford Reserve? Yes. It sounds like it puts hair on your chest. Yeah. Cheers to Bigfoot there. Good choice, sir. Alrighty. I'm going to take a brief break. We will be back shortly. That'll be the last qualifying and race of the evening. I am glad to have the audience here, glad to have racers here, and we're looking forward to this next race because the first two have been great. I will see you in just a few minutes. I am back a hair bit early. I know that disappoints all of you. But it looks like we might get a bit of an early start on our final race of the evening. Bigfoot, a couple of ice trays that just make round balls. Just pour a little over that. I actually have some of the stones for doing liquor with, which I kind of like. I don't like to cool it too much. Not a big fan of that. I don't like getting the water in it. Yeah, see? Kind of like the stones. Don't get me wrong, I don't disagree with making it colder, but I don't like the fact that it leaves water in it. At some point, I need to set up a part of my bar in my apartment to have a cold tray to put drinks on to cool them down. I would do that with liquor. I would cool them down, but I don't want water in them, watering them down. Yeah, something like that would be nice. I'll figure out something like that. Maybe when I get a house, I'll put it in the middle of one of my counters. So we're kind of waiting on the guys to get started here. It sounded like Heinz was going to give a try at starting us a little bit early since the boys managed to get in there. Normally we start GP about 9, but it looks like we got everybody ready. So we might be a minute or two early getting started on qualifying here. Just waiting for them to go. Been some good fights this evening, though. I have definitely enjoyed it. It has been a fun evening to watch. Looking forward to the next week being the same. A lot of these dudes, too, keep in mind, man. Track season is started up. They've started getting to the actual tracks. They're getting into it. Me, I'm a dumbass that hasn't done a track day yet this evening. Or this season. Oh my God. I'm cut off. Where is Spanky tonight? Spanky generally is in GP. I don't think we often have him appear before that. Stormy, I don't know. I don't know what he's up to. I'm missing my baguettes. Hazard, thank you for the compliment. Enjoying the commentary. Feel like you're a real racing voice and Nick adds the color. Yes, I do my best. Yes, I am disappointed by not having the baguettes here tonight. I am not sure what Stormy was up to. I know we had Deshaun was out having to work. I'm not sure what Stormy's up to. Keep in mind, a lot of those guys, we've got a few of the dudes over in Europe, so they can have a hard time catching a schedule where they can race with us. But here's what I will say about that. I don't know if he's watching right now, but Mr. Dickinson and I have had discussions about if at some point we want to figure out a way to set up a European-specific league. Once we get enough folks, and once we get, a couple of folks over there who can manage the broadcast, we may set up a European league at some point, so you may be able to get your fix of some Stormy and some Dickinson and some of our other European guys. You may be able to get that fix, hopefully, at some point, where they don't get interrupted by work and such. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And the best place to watch for that, of course, will probably be Twitch or YouTube will probably be the places where you'll see that. Facebook is less good for those kind of time offset things. But we'll see how that works out. Well, I thought we were going to start early-ish, but not looking like it so far. Oh, I guess we had problems with people getting disconnected. Yeah, Bear got bumped out. All right. Looks like we are just about to start GP for this evening. Hope you boys is ready. I know I'm excited. Been a good evening so far. Bigfoot might not be here. Well, last race of the season. Bigfoot not here. Sounds like we have to cancel. Season's over. We're done. Just shutting the league down. And wait on Rocha. He was taking a piss. Damn it, Rocha. Why you gotta be dragging the rest of us down, bro? Disney World. You will simultaneously love and hate it. I lived in Florida when I was younger, close enough that we had a season pass, and for like a year or two, we went there like all the time. And I hate that place now. You can't get me to go near it. You know, when you're younger and you go there like 14 times in the course of 2 years, you're like, nope, I'm done with it. So here we go, boys. This will be qualifying for the last race of the evening. My God, why is it doing that again? Hadlock and 2 playing back along with Baird, Mack, and Voss Key. And you were wondering where Spanky was. Well, Spanky is here for GP. That is what Spanky primarily does with us. Spanky is this mysterious being that only cares when the bikes are dangerously fast. That's the only time he wants to be on the track. Hazard back as well. Coco Veritech. Ooh, that's ballsy. First time out with us, coming out in GP. This is where it gets torturous. Rocha. Good to see him here. And Bear back with us as well. Yeah, get that $30 hot dog. You ain't kidding, bro. That being said, as a little kid, it's a really cool place to go. I loved it when I was little. Always need to drag kids there at least once or twice. Though to be honest, even from when I was a little kid, Epcot was my favorite. Though these days, Epcot needs a lot of updating to be as cool as it was back then. a tail sliding off the track for Rocha. Yeah, and it looks like that's going to be an unvalidated lap for him. So, Spanky, Jane, and Coco, they're going to be our first laps out there on the track. As Rocha does what Rocha do and bends it. Nothing wrong with a little yard sale here and there, right, boys? Not sure what's up with the audio there. That is a little odd. Doesn't appear to be on my end, though. I think it's something happening with our camera. Looking forward mostly to Star Wars. You know what? I feel like Star Wars under Disney's care has become, well, there's only one way to phrase it, a shit show. I don't even want to see the park. It feels like the park is nothing but a series of shops, from what everybody said. Yes. Heinz. Yes. Are they? Is that what these sound problems are that I've been hearing? Oh, that's disappointing. It doesn't look as bad as it did last season near the end of it, but yeah, we need to start having a talk with Milestone. A month. I think a month they'll do it. Yeah, I think a month they'll do it. You're probably right. Yep. All right, man. Appreciate the call. Formula Cats, I don't think we have seen you here before. I appreciate the compliment. And Bigfoot giving the curse to my face. Next thing I know, I'll stick him in an oven and he'll be right. Spanky, looking as solid as he always does. So the audio issues we're having, apparently our first season that we did with MotoGP 19, partway through the season, apparently what Milestone does, the moment they push a new game in, they decide, screw the servers for the old games, and they fall apart. So that's part of the reason we're having the audio issue. Hopefully, we will get through Valencia without them completely screwing over the old game. Hopefully. Ooh, Hazard with a rough off there. That being said, look at Spanky. This boy comes in. When he shows up in GP, this dude is always on his game. 1.56 point. 378 seconds back, or as a time. Good God, what's wrong with me? Voss, half a second back. Jane, 2 seconds back. You know what? Jane, for all his talking about how fast these boys are, being only 2 seconds back off of, frankly, some of the fastest dudes in this game, in the world, that is nothing to be ashamed of, sir. Your favorite little rascal. Thank you, Bigfoot. Just started getting into GP myself, and will probably be picking up 21 from PS5. Well, cats, maybe you find yourself getting good at it. Bigfoot trying to talk trash on the PlayStation players. No. We will, cats, I will mention this. The previous season, we had a PS4 league. When we tried to start up this season for 20, literally nobody showed up for qualifying, including some of the guys who were in there during the last season. So we did not do a PlayStation league this season. Next season for 21, it's looking like we'll probably have one. So if you're interested, we'll see about the interest in it. We're trying to divide up, at least in Xbox, we're trying to divide up classes by the actual classes in the game, Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP. We're thinking we'll probably have enough people maybe for that, and that'll make it easier, because part of what we've had a problem with this season is some of the guys are a little frustrated that they are faster, and some of the slower guys are in there with them, and it causes a little mismatch in skills. So next season, we're trying to start dividing them by actual skill levels on the Xbox. We'll see if we get enough people in PS5. Or PS4 and 5. We're still working out which consoles we're going to be racing on. It depends on how they do cross-platform between console generations. We're not sure about that so far. But that being said, there is a possibility for a PlayStation and an Xbox League next season. We will try to keep everybody updated. Feel free to look for Southern E-Racing League on Facebook. We keep most of our updates on there. We also have a Discord channel. It's a good place to really keep up and talk to the guys in real time. And we will keep everybody updated, letting them know how the leagues are going to look next season. And for some reason, I was gifted with the ability to sound like I belong in this kind of stuff, despite the fact that I know absolutely jack shit about GP. I know a good amount about motorcycles. Oh, is that what you're going to be, Moto3 and Moto2, Bigfoot? Is that the plan? I wonder when we're going to see you out there. Yeah, GP is savage. Like, you don't want to be out there with Spanky. Spanky is just brutal. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing the amount of speed this man could put down, but dear God, he is just rough to be up against. So Spanky's sitting at a 156.378. Oh, Dickinson, you and your bananas. Don't worry, his bananas are amusing more than they're scary. Matt finding himself 0.122 seconds back off of Spanky, but Spanky trying to push that down hard. Yeah, Bigfoot talking about how he just pounds it hard. Oh, dear God, Spanky, 155.859. Seriously, every time this guy comes out, it's like everybody else has had a couple of sessions to race, and then Spanky hits the track and just tortures everybody. Dude is quick. Seriously quick. Jane, 2.480 seconds back. Again, he complains about how fast everybody is in GP, but he's not far off. Just a little more speed, a little more consistency, and he'll be fine. Coco, all right, putting himself 1.983 back off of Spanky. Boss sitting 0.909. If Voss, oof, that was rough for him to get Moto 2. I'd be surprised if Voss finds himself in third in GP. You remember your first 155? Do you now? Really, though? Really? You can't tell me the man that curses people is that fast. That's your Moto 3 time on this track? Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, put up the Twitch stream where you do it, bro. So Jane, 2.480 back. Bear, 3.938 back. Hazard, 4.517 back. And Baird, 5.095, as we have just over 3 minutes remaining in qualifying for GP at Sepang. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. Yeah, Bigfoot, you know me. I'll laugh about your curse, but if you're going to say sometimes, put up or shut up, bruh. That's how we play this game, and that's why I don't race, because I can't put up. And I have it on PC, so. PC Master Race. Just saying. And I work on Moto too, mostly. I will never claim to be fast in GP, and in real life, for the track, I have a Daytona 675R, the 2011 model. I do love it, but I need to spend more time on it. Ooh, Hadlock finally putting himself a time on the board, a 7.686. Behind Spanky, that gives him time for one more lap. If he'll hustle it around. He looking like he's set to put himself down a time as well. Mac invalidating that lap. You saw it go out of the turn there. Anybody see Mir lose his lap time in GP over the weekend? There were a lot of people complaining about using the light sensor and the computers to figure that stuff out, but I must say I don't disapprove of it. I almost like the computers are less biased than humans when it comes to stuff like this. If you want a fair race, let the computer assess it. You couldn't run a 155 with a jet engine strapped to my bike. Well, that's because of the extra weight, bro. Stop trying it with a jet engine. Get good. Oh, no, come on. Don't have that attitude. Believe in the you that believes in you, bro. You can do it. Veritek, unfortunately, yet to put down a time in qualifying. Hopefully, he'll be able to do it. No, it looks like that was an invalidated time. You know what? I'm not even going to... The dude came out his first time with us. And I don't think he wound up last either race he's been in so far. Yeah, he's been ahead of last. Both races he's been out here with us. It is not easy racing with this lead. That is the one thing I will say. Now, next season, we will probably do a better job of creating that separation. Oh, as Mac was on a group best pace and dumps it before he can get to the third section, or before he can get through the third section, rather. So it looks like Bigfoot's curse applying to Mac at the last second during qualifying in GP. Thank you, Bigfoot. I'm sure the boys appreciate it. Meanwhile, waiting on, of course, time being up in qualifying, so this will be the last lap. Unfortunately, Key dumping it. So that's going to rule him out for pushing that time down any further. Looking at Baird, who's actually had a pretty good evening for himself. He has actually not been bad. He was 5th in GP, or in 2. And in 3... Let me pull that up real quick. I believe he was 5th in 3 as well. So Baird having a very solid evening. And up front, no surprise to see Spanky Up on that front row with Mac and Voss up there with him. Coco, Jane, and Bear in your second row. And Hazard, Baird, and Hadlock in your third row. With Key, Veritek, and Rocha bringing up that fourth row. So that'll get us ready to start our final race of the evening. Going to be GP at Sepang on the Xbox. Yes, believe in yourself. That is absolutely it, Bigfoot. That is the most important person to have believing in you. Nobody else matters when it comes to confidence in your performance. It's always about you believing it. So while we wait for final setup to occur for our boys, we're going to go ahead and mention our sponsors that graciously provided us some awesome prizes. Again, a lot of these boys spend time, hell, pretty much all of them, spend time at the actual track on a bike. So the sponsors we got provide actual stuff for being on a real bike. We got South Central Race Center here in Austin with Pirelli tires. Yes, they are actually giving tires to one of our boys for some racing, like some really sticky Pirelli stuff. Wood Cycle Country with new bikes, used bikes, and they're providing gear for our boys. Moto Orangutan here in town, mostly providing motorcycle gear, but also providing used motorcycles and bicycles. If you're looking for the mountain bike or the street bike type setup, by God, they'll take care of you. Motul, the dudes that do motor oil, and they gave us some awesome swag that was supposed to go to the GP and other guys in 2020, but they decided they'll hand it to our boys in this league, and Mass Motorsports, who makes custom leathers, gloves, and suits. By God, the things look awesome, and they provided gloves to our boys this year. So I'm really looking forward to handing out prizes the guys have been racing this season. I'm really looking forward to us giving that out. That'll be the end of next month, by the way. For those who weren't there earlier in the broadcast, end of May, we will be having our barbecue and awards ceremony for the guys that managed to be there, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with the rest of the prizes. It'll all be taken care of then. You'll be able to watch a stream if you can't be there. If you can, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. You'll unfortunately be stuck with shaking my hand. And Bigfoot looking for people calling for who's going to win. All right, here's the tip. Don't listen to Bigfoot if you're trying to pick the actual winner. Whatever he says, just go away from it. And here we go, our final race of the evening. This is going to be Sepang on the Xbox. Let's see what we got here. Oh, wow. Jane having an early off there. That was unfortunate as we come into turn one. Veritek just going straight. Did he get disconnected? I'm not sure what it... No, doesn't look like it. Looks like he just had something go tragically wrong there. So now we are on board with Voss sitting back in third. Behind Mac and Spanky. How many people are surprised to see Spanky up front? The sweaty palms. And yeah, you know, Dickinson blaming sweaty palms. I'm going to blame Mom's spaghetti. Bigfoot, having to go with Voss. I always stick with just one rider, and he is my favorite. That is fair. I have no idea if it's Voss that they're wanting you to cheer for, though. Seeing as he's currently sitting in third, and up front, Mac and Spanky. Man, Mac, I think this evening is determined that Spanky's going to pay for his insolence, winning so often. Oh, look at those two scream ahead of Voss. They're actually looking really good. Meanwhile, Coco doing a hell of a job catching up to Voss. Doing pretty well, and Bear doing a pretty good job of trying to chase down Coco as well. So looking like that fight for third is by no means going to be resolved quickly. Up front here, though, you can see Mac trying desperately to chase down Spanky. But Spanky is having none of it. No, sir, you're going to sit half a second back, and you're going to do no closer than that. Ooh, look at this. Oh, Mac aggressive on those brakes. Meanwhile, ooh, Baird having himself an off. That is unfortunate. Spanky will lay it down, says Bigfoot. Well, that means he's going to win, bro, because it's you calling it. Why would you do that to us? This race is over. Mac doing a phenomenal job pushing up to a quarter of a second. Look at this. Look at this. Aggressive on the brakes. Barely manages to slip inside Spanky. A little bit bumped off the line there. I think Mac going ahead and going easy out of the turn. Not wanting to be a jerk. I think he tried to be a sportsman on that turn. Yep. Certainly looks like it. So he's going to go ahead and let Spanky back out there. That is one thing you'll find in this league. These fastest guys, they're not jerks about it. They'd rather win fair and square. I mean, let's be fair. Who's going to trust a win that doesn't come from that kind of racing? So down the back straight we go. Mac looking for the pass, trying to be late on the brakes again. Can't quite make it happen. Oh, baby, get up under Spanky. Nope. Oh, no. No, sir. Spanky decided that is not the case. Meanwhile, you can see Voss and Coco pretty close together there. Bear and Hazard looking pretty close, but Mac continuing this fight up front with Spanky. Look at this. Very, very good attempt for the pass in two. As they swing up around three. And here we go into four, the right angle. Ooh, that is very close. Mac having to back off of it to avoid touching Spanky's rear tire. Obviously, he's a little paranoid after that last little bump there. See it here off the back tire of Spanky. It is just not easy to make that catch happen. You can see Voss just under 2 seconds back there behind him. Veritek, unfortunately, having himself a bit of an off. Oh, my! Look at this fight between these two, Mac and Spanky. I say Mark, you know what? This is actually a Marquez type of positioning here from Mac. Look at this. Neither of these two willing to let go at the front. Oh, Mac looking from the outside. Can't quite make it happen through 14. Look at the rest of the pack. Hadlock just about to chase down Key for 8th. The rest of the pack fairly well spread out, so the real fight happening here up front between Mac and Spanky. Oh, it is not gonna be easy. Down the front straight, Mac with a solid pass coming into turn one. Ooh, Spanky forced off the line. And Mac manages to hold it for now. I think Voss slipped under there as well. No, not quite, but he is very close. So now Mac doing a brilliant job of taking that pass there, putting himself up in first place. Spanky in second, Voss in third. Now you can see here from Spanky's view, trying to chase down Mac with Voss breathing down his neck. For 20, that Suzuki is very, very scary to be in front of. So Spanky's got it all to do to keep Voss off of his ass. That is not easy. Whoa, Spanky very wide, and Voss taking advantage of it. Oh, that is close. Man, that is close. So first, second, third tonight, the entire podium just scary. Scary to be anywhere in these top three. Your position is not secure. There is somebody waiting behind you at all times to eat you alive if you make the slightest mistake. And that is absolutely the kind of racing we like to see. Look at this. Voss doing his level best to try and chase Spanky. Oh, look at the wide hazard off the track as he was doing a great job of chasing down Jane. Oof. Oof, that is rough. Meanwhile, up front, Voss all over Spanky, not letting go of it at all. We are on the 5th lap. My God, this race is going fast. And these guys are just, it is like nobody is having any mercy tonight. Don't make any mistakes. Whoever's behind you is going to punish you. Dear God, GP is a scary place to be tonight. So Voss now finding himself half a second back off of Spanky, who is 2 seconds back off of Mac. Mac has decided, I don't want any part of that fight back there. I am gone. He is running like a madman from this fight, and I can't blame him. And Bear having an off, which is going to put Hazard into 6th. He was having a very solid fight with Bear up to that point. I'm sure Hazard a bit disappointed that it went out that way, because I know he's been enjoying the fights earlier this evening. But that being said, that's just how she goes. Don't make those kind of mistakes. It looks like Bear is going to try to chase him back down. He's got 2 laps to make it happen. But Voss and Spanky, Voss continuing to threaten whoever sits in second. You can see here Voss having jumped up into Power Map 2. I think everybody has at this point. It's going to be stupidly fast for the rest of the race as we start the penultimate lap of the penultimate race for the season. Woo, we're getting some good fights tonight. Tell you what, I am loving it. So Voss fighting. Obviously, he's got the fuel, he's got the tires, he's got everything he needs to make it through the race, but the problem is he's got Spanky and Mac in front of him, and neither of these guys are letting off this evening. Mac looking particularly awesome after Spanky just dominating in qualifying. Mac deciding, no sir, first place is mine. Really looking good. Wow, Mac just so fast. That line looking so good from his perspective. If you want to go around the track fast, you watch how this man does it, and you're going to see how it looks. Dude is never slow. Looking at it from Spanky's perspective, he's still got Voss breathing down his neck. Up at the front of the pack, there are no mistakes allowed because there are just rabid dogs chasing you down the entire way around the track. Which, I mean, if we're being honest as an audience, there's nothing I love more than seeing mistakes get penalized. Don't screw up if you don't want to lose a place. Boss trying desperately to chase him down. You can see he's bumped back on his power mapping. He's got enough fuel to make it through, but I think he has to stay off the map. I suspect that his attempt to catch them didn't work out. He may just have to sit back and wait for a mistake from up ahead of him. That is a bad position to be in. But that's the problem when you've got these two out in front of you. You can't count on mistakes. Oh man, the front of the pack is vicious tonight. Meanwhile, further back, Bear finds himself in 7th, back behind Hazard, who finds himself in 6th. Not too bad. But the problem is he's got Bear on his tail. And just like in real life, the last thing you want is a bear following you. Unfortunately, I cannot pull Bear's stream because for some reason it broke in between sessions. Damn. I was going to give you all a view of that. So here we go, finishing up this final lap. One more turn to go. Voss unable to make it happen. Mac with a very solid win. Wow, those boys were quick. Coco gonna take himself a 4th, looking like Jane gonna take 5th. But my God, that fight up front, I suspect even with penalties, Mac's still gonna take that 1st. Managing to put himself 3 seconds out ahead of Spanky. What a hell of a race. Woo! And Hadlock, unfortunately, unable to catch up near the back where he was there. So, Mac, what a win. Mac, Spanky, and Voss going to be on the front row there, with Coco, Jane, and Hazard taking 4th, 5th, and 6th. Bear, yeah, you see, they always got to put themselves next to each other. They always do it just to torture me. So Bear, Baird, and Key. Wow, what a fight. That was the kind of fight we normally don't see, even in GP. That was, wow. Good God, that was good stuff. So, Hadlock, Veritek, not last in any of his races. First week out with us, that's actually not bad at all. That was actually a good night for him. So Hadlock, Veritek, and Rocha rounding out the lineup. Oh, that was a great evening of races. We had some solid fights every time. I'll tell you what, I got no problem with seeing that kind of evening. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Yeah, Hazard mentioned it. Great racing tonight. It was some solid racing. A lot of fun to watch. My God, I am looking forward to next week even more. Hopefully. Please, Milestone. Please. Oh, God, please don't cut off the networking. Please. The new game isn't out yet. Don't mess with us. It isn't out. Don't do this to us. That being said, great evening of racing from the racers. That was a ton of fun to watch. I'm sure it seems like a lot of the audience enjoyed it there. Looks like we had a pretty good group show up for us. So thank you to the racers. Thank you to everybody coming in, commenting, watching. Hey, even if you're lurking, we still love you anyway. We appreciate it. Again, I will take a brief moment to mention those nice sponsors we have. We have Motorangatang, gear and motorcycles, that sort of stuff. Mass Motorsports, selling custom leathers. It's kind of awesome to get them from there. Wood Cycle Country, doing new motorcycles, used motorcycles, and gear. Motul, the oil guys, exactly who you're thinking it is. And South Central Race Center with Pirelli tires. And of course, as I mentioned before, you the audience, you the racers, thanks all of you for being here. We will look forward to you next time, or same time next week. My God, if only I could speak correctly. That'll be the last race of the evening, or of the evening. Dear God, what is wrong with me? The last race of our season next week. So please be here. Yeah, Bigfoot, first time watcher. Yeah, we've never seen you here before. We're not familiar with it all, bro. That being said, next week going to be the finale of the season. Be here. There are still some solid fights to happen. It's going to be a good one. I hope to see you there.